Sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is... Please note, the new number is...
So at this point, the mom's still at my house. Same night, still at my house, still drunk, still loud, still ghetto. I took the kids upstairs in the room. I shut the door. I told them their mom was leaving and to lay back down and they'll see their mom tomorrow. So came back downstairs. She's still running her mouth. She just standing up, pacing, walking back and forth like she crazy. At this point, I got my guard up because I don't know what she gonna do. But honey, you in my house, you better think twice. So she pacing back and forth, and I'm just telling her, I said, it's pretty late, and obviously you're drunk. Where's your keys? I asked her, do you want to stay here tonight? I'll change my son's sheets, and my son can sleep with me, and you can sleep in his room. And she was telling me that she's not staying here. I say, okay, that's fine, but do you want to sit here for a little bit? Because you really shouldn't, you really shouldn't be driving like that. Although I don't like her, I don't want to see nothing happen to her. I don't want to see her hurt, and I don't want to see nothing happen to her. So I'm like, well, you can just, sit here for a while. So she just sitting there. I don't know what she was talking about. She was on her phone. She was texting somebody. And she was like, well, do you know when my husband's getting out? I said, he should be getting out maybe tomorrow or pretty soon. Because his parents are down here. And she was like, I just don't want Eric to be at the house when he gets there. I said, Eric out of the hospital? She said, yeah, he's at the house. I said, at your house? I said, why would you have him at your house after that whole situation? She was like, that's just... as she got just as much rights to the house as her husband do. I'm like, but do you think that's a good idea to have Eric at your house after everything that went down? And she was like, well, that's really none of your business. That's really not none of your business. I'm like, yeah, you're right, but why would you have Eric, excuse me, y'all. Why would you have Eric at your house? Like, that is crazy. Like, I said, so what are you going to do when your husband come home? Or is Eric going to be there, or are you going to get Eric to leave before your husband come home? She was like, I don't know, dude. That's why I asked you when my husband was coming home. I said, well, I don't know either, but I think you will want to get Eric out of the house. I don't think you will want to have Eric there when Hunter come home. It's going to be another altercation. So we just talking. I'm just, at this point, I want to be nosy. I ain't even going to lie. At this point, I wanted to be nosy. So I started asking her questions. I was like, well, are you in a relationship with Eric, or y'all just messing around? And she was telling me, she knew Eric since high school. Like, they grew up together. Like, they was high school sweethearts. And she the one that introduced Eric to her husband. Well, she introduced Eric to, her husband as a friend. So that what she told me. She told Eric that this was her, her high school friend. So that's how she got, him and Eric started talking, and that's how Eric started working for Hunter. So I'm like, so are you going to stay with your husband, or are you going to stay with Eric? She said, at this point, I don't know. I said, you don't know. You're married. You're married, and you got a man at your house while your husband is locked up. What you mean you don't know? You better figure something out before Hunter come home. So I'm just, asking her questions after questions after questions. She answered some of the questions, but she ain't answered all the questions. So I'm like, I said, do you love Eric? She said, yeah. I said, well, do you love your husband? She said, yeah. I said, well, you love both of them, but you're married, so you got to choose one. Who do you think you want to choose? She said she don't know. I said, well, what's the problem with your husband? Like, why would you cheat on your husband, honey? A lot of women would love to stay at home and be a stay-at-home rich wife. Honey, a lot of people will want that position. She was like, well, you don't know everything that's going on. You don't know how he treats me. You don't know how he makes me feel. I said, you're right. I don't know. That's what counseling is for. She was like, I tried to get him to go to counseling. He doesn't want to go to counseling. I'm like, well, what is your relationship like? Like, is everything okay? Like, did you cheat because you thought he was cheating or he was doing something? She was like, all he do is work. All he do is work all day, come home, play with the kids, eat his food, and give me a kiss on the forehead like I'm a pet. I said, so y'all don't talk? She said, I talk, he just listen. She said she just feel neglected in her marriage. She said she tired of feeling neglected in her marriage. So, that's when she started messing with Eric. So I'm like, let me ask you something. Was you messing with Eric before y'all had kids? She said she been sleeping with Eric since high school. I said, okay. I really wanted to ask if those his kids, but I feel like that wasn't the right time. So I'm like, well, what are you going to do? She was like, I don't know, but right now, the way she feel about her husband, what her husband did to Eric was uncalled for. And I'm like, you right, that was uncalled for, but the whole situation was uncalled for. Y'all got me in the middle of it. You got me taking care of your kids. I don't know where you at. Your husband locked up. His mom came here acting crazy. Like, I don't know what y'all want me to do. Like, I don't have a problem watching these kids, but at the end of the day, these are not my kids. Like, you got to get yourself together. Like, you got to come get your kids. Your kids want you. I said, I'm going to take them to Chuck E. Cheese tomorrow. If you want to come to Chuck E. Cheese with us, that's where they want to go. That's fine. So me and her sitting here just, having a conversation. And she just started crying. She just started crying on the blue. A drunk cry. Yeah, it was one of those. It was a drunk cry. So I'm just letting her cry for a minute. I didn't say nothing because, just let her get her cry out. So I'm like, well, why are you crying? Is everything okay? She was like, my life is a mess. All because of you. All because of you. You ruined my life. You's a stupid bitch. You was a stupid bitch. You ruined my life. I said, first of all, I didn't ruin your life. Your husband, Hunter, asked me to go check on you because you had the cameras off. And he wanted to make sure y'all was okay. So I went over there and I checked on y'all and I seen something that I felt like I didn't need to see. And y'all put me in the middle of it. What got you in trouble and ruined your life is you opening your legs. That's what got you in trouble, not me. Yeah, I did go back and tell my boss because he asked and I told him. And that's what it was. So she wanted to be loud and ghetto and ratchet, the stuff she was calling me. But honey, obviously I'm the calm one. So at this point, my feelings went out the door. I didn't care. So I just blatantly asked her. I said, is Eric the father of the baby? And she just stood there and looked at me like, she just gave me like the look of death. Like she just stood there and she just looked at me. I said, did you hear what I said? I said, is Eric the father of the baby? She gonna say, well, that's none of your business. I said, okay, you're right. That's not none of my business. But you just had a baby. You postpartum. Your husband's already said to me that the baby don't look like him and the baby don't look like your other kids. She was like, oh, he said that. Oh, he said that. He's going around saying it's not his baby. Well, guess what? I don't know if any of the kids' heads. Child, when she told me that, my mouth dropped. When I tell y'all my mouth dropped, my eyes went like this. I felt like I was on drugs with her. I'm like, whoa. Hold on. What do you mean? She was like, oh, since he want to say that, he probably need to get a DNA test on all the kids. I'm like, I didn't hear that. Please don't tell me that. I did not hear that. I don't want to hear that. Whatever y'all got going on, but take that back. I don't want to hear. Nope. I rebuke that. Nope. I don't want to hear that. And she was like, yeah, that's right, man. Eric been, since high school. We high school lovers, and the feelings are still there. Like I guess they've been messing around since high school. Like they never stopped messing around. And I'm just like, I said, them poor kids. I said, so you gonna get a DNA test? What you gonna do? You gonna get a DNA test? She was like, at this point, I'm gonna have to get a DNA test for all of the kids. I'm like, you want me to tell you? You want me to tell your husband? She was like, no, just mind your business. You already got us in enough trouble. Just mind your business. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna mind my business. So she just going on and on, talk about how she haven't been happy in a long time, how her husband ignored her. They try to go to counseling. Nothing is working. And she just jumped into Eric's arm. Eric was paying her attention. So she jumped into Eric's arm. She was in a relationship. She was married and she was in a relationship with Eric. And Eric been over the house several times. And every time Eric come over, she turns the cameras off. And her husband, that he did mention that she always got the cameras off. But she told him that I guess it's the internet or connection or something, whatever's connected to the cameras. But she said every time Eric come over, she turns the camera off. So I just can't believe, when you drunk, the truth come out. I'm thinking, I ain't even gonna lie. I'm sorry, boss, but I thought the baby wasn't yours. I didn't think about the other two kids. I'm just thinking, I don't know if she said that because she was mad, but I'm just thinking in my head, like, all right, that baby don't look like him or the other two kids. The other two kids look like you can see the similarities. But the baby, But she said all three kids. All three kids, not just the baby. All three kids, they got to get a DNA test on. Ain't that some shit? This is crazy. I'm like, okay, so the next day, the husband got out of jail. Let's clap up for that. I'm getting rid of these kids. Let's clap up for that. So the husband got out of jail. He came to my house. He came to get the kids. Y'all, the kids was so happy to see their dad. Like, I think they was more happier to see their dad than their mom. Like, the way he was just loving on them kids. He kept saying, I miss you. He was kissing them. He was hugging them. He started crying. The kids was crying. I wanted to cry a little bit. I'm so emotional. And I'm just sitting there I'm just smiling. I'm just watching, like, but the back of my head, I'm just happy that these kids getting up out of here because I need a break. But he was telling the kids, go upstairs, pack your things, you go home. So I'm like, okay, kids. Mind you, she told me that Eric is still at the house at this point. I don't know if Eric's still at the house or Eric left. So I'm like, okay, babies, go upstairs and pack your bag, and I'll call you, when it's time to leave. So I'm like, okay, Hunter, just sit down at the table. I gotta tell you something. He was like, oh, well, what is it now? He wasn't saying it to be smart. I think he was a little scared. He was like, oh, well, what is it now? I said, did you talk to your wife? Did you see your wife? And he was like, no, I haven't heard from her. Have you? I said, well, she was here the other night. She tried to get the kids. He said, well, thank goodness you didn't give her the kids. Like I said, the reason I didn't give her the kids because she came here, she was drunk and she was crazy. She was on something and she was just acting real crazy and I didn't feel comfortable. It was the middle of the night anyway. I didn't feel comfortable giving her the kids, and that's what I told her. And he was like, that's the problem right there. She got a drinking problem. I tried to get her into counseling. I tried to get her help. She just don't want to put the bottle down. And I think, he said that's what put a damper in our marriage. I said, you sure that's just will put a damper in the marriage? Because, y'all, I got everything on record. I record everything just in case something go down and they try to say I did something or I took those kids or anything happened. I got everything on my phone. On this phone that I'm on, I got all the recordings just in case anything go down. Y'all not putting me in the middle of nothing, honey. So if it comes down to it and I gotta go to court or something, honey, I got everything recorded. Yes, I do. Thank you very much. So I'm telling him, dang, where was I at? So I'm telling him that the wife was saying, how you come home and you neglect her or you go to work all day, you don't spend time with her. And when you come home, you go straight to the kids, you love one of the kids and you kiss her on the forehead like she a dog. And he said, that is true. That is true. I said, well, maybe not to be in your business, but y'all already put me in your business. I said, well, not to be in your business anymore, but maybe that's what the problem is. Maybe you need to show your wife some attention. And mind you, I don't like this lady. I don't care what he do. That's their business. I'm just, trying to put my 2 cents in. I'm like, well, maybe that's the problem. He said, no, the problem is her and her drinking. She's a drunk. She's sneaky. She don't take care of the kids properly. He said, you went to go pick the kids up from daycare several times because she was nowhere to be found. He was like, she got a drinking problem. She leave the kids in the house by herself. She don't cook. She don't clean. She don't do what she's supposed to. She just not, wife material. And he been thinking about getting a divorce for a long time. And I'm like, well, that's something that, y'all two have to deal with. But I don't think you should take the kids with you right now because, she told me something and I think you should go without the kids. The kids can stay here. I can watch them a little bit longer. He's like, well, why you don't want me to go to the house? What's happening? What's going on at the house? Did she change the locks? I'm like, no, she didn't change the lock, but she did say Eric was at your house. So what the you mean Eric is at my house? What do you mean Eric? Like, he jumped up on the table. He started banging on. He's like, watch the kids. I'll be right back. Just watch the kids. I said, no. Nope. I watch these kids. Enough. Hold on. Just calm down. You can't go to the house acting all crazy. You just got out of jail. You just caught a case. Like, you have to chill. You go back to the house and then what? Somebody's going to end up, right? Calm down. Just calm down. You calm down. The kids upstairs, they're going to come downstairs. You're going to scare them. Just calm down. Just sit at the table and let's just talk about it. Let's just talk for a minute. Calm down. Like, y'all put me in the middle of y'all situation. I'm pregnant. I'm stressed out. I'm tired. Y'all doing too much. Like, this is too much for me. I cannot handle this. I cannot. This is too much. Between you and her and your mom, you asked me, y'all fucking crazy. Like, all y'all is fucking crazy. Like, something is wrong with all y'all. All y'all fucking need to go see a therapist or get out of each other's life. Like, this is too much. So just sit here, just sit the fuck down and just listen, okay? I had enough. I'm tired. This is not my business. You put me in the middle of this. This is not my business. I'm tired. Enough is enough. I'm tired. I'm putting my foot down. Like, somebody got to come get these kids. I don't mind watching your kids, but enough is enough. I need my life back, okay? I got kids on my own. I'm tired. I'm stressed out. Y'all stressing me out. I just got out of the hospital. I'm on more medication. My blood pressure high. My baby not growing properly. Like, y'all putting me through so much, and I'm trying to be so nice, but it's only so much that I can take. At that point, I went off. And I guess he felt bad. He sat down, and we started talking again. So at this point, I'm asking him, well, what's the relationship between your wife and Eric? And she was like, Eric, she said Eric introduced Eric as her cousin. That's what she told him. When she first met Eric, before they had kids and all that, she introduced Eric as her cousin. And I'm like, well, that's not what she told me. She told me something else. And he was like, well, that's what she told her. But obviously, Eric is not her cousin. I mean, if they're cousins, they wouldn't be fucking unless they doing some incest stuff. I'm saying right, true about that. But that's what she told me, and you telling me something different. So Erica, she just calm down and just listen. Don't bang on my table, okay? This ain't no probably $5,000 table you got, okay? Chill, okay? Before you break it. So I'm like, well, she did tell me. At this point, I played the recording for him. I let him hear what she said, but I didn't let the part about the kids play, about the DNA test on the kids. I didn't let that play. So I let him listen to it, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just watching him. Like, he just so mad. You can just tell he mad. So I'm just sitting there, and I'm just listening to him. Well, we listening to the recording, and I'm just watching him. So I'm like, you can't go back to the house because Eric, I don't know if Eric there, and I don't want you to get in any more trouble. So he like, yo, I'm sorry. I keep pausing. I'm so fat and out of breath. Like, I'm just out of breath. So I didn't let him hear the part about the kids not being his. I said, so what are you going to do? Like, are you going to stay with your wife? Or y'all going to work it out? He said, no, I'm getting a divorce. I'm getting a locks changed. He gonna get full custody of the kids. Like, his wife got to go. She can't come to the house no more. He gonna let them know she a drunk. He gonna show the videos that he got of her in the house drinking with the kids. He said she abusive to them kids. She hit them kids several times. She found marks on the body. And when he said that, I'm like, because when your mom came over here, she was looking at the kids. Do your mom know about that? Because when your mom came over here, she was looking at the kid's body, asking the kids that I hit him and stuff. So is that why your mom was looking at the kids? Do your mom know about it? He was like, yeah, his mom know about it. Mind you, his family, they don't live near their family. Their family lives states and states away. He came down here and he built, a business. So this is where his business is at. His family is like 2-3 states away. So I'm like, well, what is the relationship with you and Eric? I met Eric a few times. Eric don't be at the job like everybody else. But I met Eric. I worked with Eric a few times. So come to find out, my boss is fucking Eric too. My boss is fucking Eric too. My boss is gay. Bisexual, sorry, whatever you want to call it. That's why my boss was so mad. He told me, let me know that he was fucking Eric. And I'm just like, I'm just dumbfounded. Like, I just went numb. Like, I'm just sitting there like, what? Like, he told me, but it didn't register. He told me, but it was so much going in my mind. I'm thinking I didn't. I'm like, say that again. My boss fucking Eric too. So that's what the problem is. That's why my boss was mad and he did what he did, because he's fucking Eric too. And I'm like, mind you, I knew my boss was gay. We all knew the boss was gay. You can just tell, how he be acting. So I'm like, wait a minute. So you fucking Eric, she fucking Eric, both of y'all fucking Eric. So this is what all it's about. Like, y'all fighting over Eric. Like, at this point, I'm just, anything that's coming out of my mouth. Like, so y'all just fucking Eric just fucking both of y'all. That's what the problem is. Both of y'all banging Eric. That's why you got so upset. I'm thinking you upset because your wife is sleeping with Eric. No, you upset because you're sleeping with Eric and your wife is sleeping with Eric. Is everybody just sleeping with Eric? Like, at this point, I'm dumbfounded. I don't know what to say. I'm stuck. Like, I'm just sitting there like, this got to be a fucking dream. Like, this got to be a dream. Ain't no way he just told me that he was sleeping with Eric. No way you told me you were sleeping with Eric. So I asked him, well, how long was you sleeping with? I was disgusted at this point because both of y'all fucking Eric. I said, well, how long you been sleeping with Eric for? He said 4 years. I said 4 years, and you mad your wife was sleeping with Eric and you been sleeping with Eric for 4 years? Like, yo, at this point, I'm dumbfounded. Like, I'm just dumbfounded. I don't know what to think. I'm stuttering. So many thoughts going through my head. Like, I'm just thinking, like, you sleeping with Eric. Your wife is sleeping with Eric. Are you mad at Eric for sleeping with your wife? Or, I don't, like, y'all, I was just stuttering so bad. I didn't know what to ask him. I didn't know what to say. Like, I was just stuck when he said he was messing around with Eric. I got stuck. Like, I like what I'm doing now. That's how I was. Like, I was stuck. I'm like, so you're gay? Mind you, I already knew he was gay, but I'm like, so you're gay? How long? I'm asking him, like, how long have you been gay for? He said he been gay for a long time. I'm like, did your wife know you was gay? He said, yeah, she knew I was bisexual. I said, okay, well, what's going to happen? You going to divorce your wife, or are you going to be with Eric, or are you going to, make things work out with your wife? Like, what are you going to do? He said right now he just want to go there and he wants to beat up Eric and he wants to kick his wife out. I said, well, why are you going to beat up Eric? Both of y'all was cheating. What are you mad at Eric for? Both of y'all was cheating. He said, but Eric owe him loyalty. Loyalty? I'm like, loyalty? Why he owe you loyalty? Like, you're married. You're married. He said, that's not the point. I said, well, what is the point? Elaborate. Explain to me, because I'm a little confused. He said, the point is, him and Eric, he thought him and Eric was in a relationship. I said, first of all, how you think you and Eric was in a relationship and you're married? At this point, I don't give two fucks. At this point, I don't give two fucks, because this whole situation is just crazy. Like, this whole situation is crazy. Like, I don't know what to think at this point. Like, I want to kick my boss out. I want to say, take your kids and go. Because, like, right now, I'm just so dumbfounded. I'm confused. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I feel like y'all put me in the middle of this situation. And you sleeping with Eric and she sleeping with Eric. Like, y'all, I couldn't get that off my head. Like, I just couldn't think about nothing else but him sleeping with Eric. Like, excuse me. Like, that's the only thing I could think about was him sleeping with Eric. Like, I just kept saying it, like, you sleeping with Eric, you're sleeping with Eric, you're gay. I don't have a problem with gay people. I just didn't, I knew my boss was gay, but I just didn't, him sleeping with Eric, like, that never crossed my mind, him sleeping with Eric. And I'm just like, okay, well, let's just sit here, let's just think about it, just calm down, let's just figure out what you're going to do, because right now, this is too much. Like, this is too much. I'm ready to be done with this whole situation. Like, I don't want to deal with it no more. I don't want to be between you and your wife. I don't want to be between you and Eric. Whatever you do, that's what you do. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Take that up with your wife. Take that up with Eric. But what I will suggest and what I will advise, I advise you not to go to the house and do anything for Eric. Because guess what? You want to take them kids with you. When you leave, you got to take them kids. Them kids got to go. You got to take those kids with you and just think about if y'all all locked up, where the kids going to go? Your mom, I ain't say this to be disrespectful, but your mom is elderly and your dad barely can move. You know, he on oxygen. So who want to take your kids? Because not me. Not me. I had enough. I'm tired. At this point, I'm tired. Like, at this point, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm tired now. I'm ready to go to bed. So at this point, I don't care. At this point, I don't care about my boss. I don't care about his wife. All I care about is those kids. I don't care about the whole situation. So I said, you know what? I don't care no more. I'm just going to let everything out. You told me, you talked bad about your wife. Your wife talked bad at y'all. Y'all got me in the middle of this. Y'all got me stressed out. I'm just going to play the recording and I'm going to let you hear what your wife said. So I sat there and I played the recording. And when it got to the part And when his wife said she needed a DNA test on all three of the kids, like, he started beating on my table. He said, DNA test? What the you mean you need a DNA test? A DNA test? Those are my kids. Those are my kids. What do you mean a DNA test? Those are my kids. I thought the baby was the mine, but the other two, those are my kids. Y'all, he flipped over my table. He punched my wall. He started knocking stuff over. I'm like, get the fuck out. Get out. Get out of my house. Get out of my fucking house. Just go. Get out of my house. You got to get out of my house. You got to go. I'm tired. Get out of my house before I call the cops. Just go. Get out of my house. He was like, oh, I got something for them. I got something for them. So he got in his car and he left. I went upstairs. The kids was crying. They heard their daddy yelling because he was all loud and crazy. I said, it's okay, baby. It's okay, baby. Let's just get your clothes on. We're going to go. So I put the kids in the car. Well, he got there before me. I put the kids in the car. Well, I got to their house. When I got to their house, Eric and Hunter was outside fighting. The wife was in the middle of it trying to break it up. The wife sees me, pulls up. She comes to my car. She started banging on my window, talking about giving you her kids, give her kids. I said, let's go to the neighbor house. I'll take the kids over to the neighbor house. I'm not about to give you the kids in the middle of this mess. Meet me at the neighbor house. So she tried to open my door. She tried to open my car door to get her kids out. The doors were locked. She tried to open my door to get the kids out. Mind you, my car was turned off at this point. So she got picked up one of them big stones. They got stones in her yard, I guess, in her walkway. They got these big stones. She picked that big stone up. She threw that stone at my front windshield. She cracked my front windshield out. At this point, I wasn't worried about no baby. I wasn't worried about nothing. I got out of that car and I treated her. I got out of that car and I treated her, pregnant and all. She can't fight. I got out of that car and I treated her so bad. I gave her what she needed. She needed that.